Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Doc Nomad Productions YouTube channel. I'm your host, DA. Thank you for tuning in today. On this episode of Nomad Kicks, we're talking about the Nike Total Air Max Uptempo 1997. This shoe has a lot of historical memories for me, nostalgic memories. A lot of NBA players wore them. So you know what? Let's go ahead and get started with the beginning of the Nike Air Max Total Uptempo. The Nike Air Max Total Uptempo was released in 1997. The shoe was worn by Reggie Miller of the Indiana Pacers, who went on to become the main endorser of the shoe. The Nike Air Max Total Uptempo continued the lineage of Nike Uptempo basketball shoes with the visible Air Max bubble. So now, let's go ahead and conduct the deep dive of the Nike Air Max Total Uptempo. That's a lot of words to be saying. That's like a whole freaking sentence describing these shoes. Anyway, the Nike Air Max Total Uptempo. First thing I want to start with, the air bubble. Traditional Nike Air Max air bubble all the way around, ladies and gentlemen. These are one of the things I love about Nike basketball gym shoes, especially back in those days, that visible Air Max bubble. Let's go ahead and go to the top. As you can see, the top of the tongue, it's a nice, almost like a patent leather type material with the Nike basketball logo right here. Along the throat, you can see like this mesh material right here. I would tell you from experience of years ago, these things will get, once they dirty, they start turning yellow. It can be very ugly, especially with this shoe. It's all white. I'm the type of guy, I haven't worn these yet. But I tell you, when I had them back in the day, as soon as you freaking go outside and cough, they freaking get dirty, right? But that's neither here or there. Continue down to the toe box. Now, this toe box is different from other toe boxes that you normally see. See the 3 air holes right here? Then you have the Nike swoosh embedded on this side here. But this toe box is different. This material is like a hard leather, but yet soft. As you can see, the front up under the toe box here. Let's look at the side. This nice design, it's like a little wave-like design. I don't know the history on it. I couldn't find anything on the internet about it. As you can see here, the Nike swoosh and these waves, what I call them waves in here. I would have loved to be able to locate and find and provide a sketch design, the original sketch for this shoe, but it wasn't available. Nike heel tab right here. And then also you see this badging, this heel plate in the back. Look at that. Nike does a great job. Nike, out of all the basketball companies, shoe companies, in terms of detail, aesthetics, silhouette, trim, I've always said this, Nike is not the most comfortable shoes to wear, but gosh dog, they are the best looking shoes. Rocking them on a regular, rocking them on sport, playing a sport in them or whatever. Nike makes the best looking shoes. Not the most comfortable. I want to be clear on that. Not the most comfortable, but they make the best looking shoes. And this, you talking about a guy that's been wearing Nikes, shoot man, since like the early 80s. I would even say like late 79, early 1980 was the first pair of Nikes I ever wore. Of course, back then, the materials wasn't as mature as they are now. Let's look at the bottom. Typical Nike air bubble down here in the ridges. Typical sole, basketball sole. Make your movements fluid and everything. Another phenomenal shoe, a basketball shoe, a beautiful basketball shoe. The Nike Air Max Total Uptempo. Let's see, I went over the tongue, went over the side panels, the uppers, the back. I think I covered everything on this. Now, let's go to nostalgic memories of the Nike Air Max Total Uptempo. Now, my nostalgic memory of the Nike, let's just say the Uptempo, because I don't want to say all those words again. I was discharged from the Marine Corps in 1998. And my second job out of the Marine Corps was working at a Foot Locker in Yuma, Arizona. Ladies and gentlemen, this shoe that you're looking at, not this particular one, I bought this 2 years ago. 1998, this was the very first shoe Very first shoe that I sold as an employee at Foot Locker. I made commission. I made probably like $3 commission on this shoe. Now, if I remember, this shoe, the original price, I think was $120. Could be wrong. Again, this was in 1998. This was the very first shoe that I sold right after another significant event, right after my daughter was born. So I used this money to buy some diapers and some formula and other things that she needed, right? Very first shoe I ever had that I sold at Foot Locker was the Nike Air Max Total Uptempo. And it was this color, it was this trim, it was this silhouette, this exact shoe. And I sold it to a guy who his son was playing basketball for one of the local high schools in Yuma. Can't remember that one of the high schools. But anyway, his son was a freshman. He was going to play in junior varsity basketball. And he came in, he asked me about the shoe, and the shoe came out in 97. But I told him, I said, you know, you can get a pair of these Jordans. So he wanted some Jordans, but they didn't have them in the size. The only size was a size 11. Freshman wearing the size 11, right? And kid walked around the store with the shoe, so they end up buying some socks with them, a wristband, daggone t-shirt, some shorts, headband, all of that. Now you talk about upselling, suggestive selling. I did that. If you was at that Foot Locker where I worked at, you weren't just gonna buy a shoe. You was gonna buy some socks. You was gonna buy a hat. You was gonna buy all these things, right? That's neither here or there. But again, to close the nostalgic piece out, this was the very first shoe that I sold as an employee at Foot Locker. I know I've repeated it like 5 times, but this is a historical event. So I tell you, man, the Nike Air Max Total Uptempo. I've always enjoyed this shoe. As you see here, they drop many other silhouettes, many other colors, trim levels and all that. Another fine shoe, a beautiful shoe. Like I said, Reggie Miller wore it. And yeah, man, can't go wrong with it. My daughter now says, you know, this shoe is ugly. Looks like an old man shoe. I say, you don't know the history of this shoe. I bought you some diapers selling this shoe back in the day, girl. Show some respect. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in on this short episode of Nomad Kicks. So many episodes of Nomad Kicks here on the Doc Nomad Productions YouTube channel. Go ahead and peruse. Watch all of them. Take this weekend, right, and watch all the sneaker, gym shoe, whatever you want to call it. Watch all those episodes. I'm talking about all sorts of shoes from back in the day. And you can also watch other videos on the Doc Nomad Productions YouTube channel. Tell a family member, tell a friend, tell everybody about it. Even my website, as you can see here and below. Everything that you need. Forget Netflix, forget Prime, forget HBO Max, forget Apple TV, forget all that. I got everything you need right here talking about life, gym shoes, military. I got some how to cook chicken. Everything that you need is on the Doc Nomad Productions YouTube channel. Thank you for your support, your continued support. Appreciate everything. You guys be the best because you are the best. Can't wait to see y'all next week here on the Doc Nomad Productions YouTube channel. Be safe, be sound, do the right thing. Until we meet again, see y'all next week. Trust and believe.